Ladies and gentlemen, warm greetings. I'm here and I'm not clean. I find this very significant because a person like myself is a criminal in most of the countries. I would like to thank CND for allowing this space to me because this is hugely significant. I'm speaking to you today since you may also be someone's dad, mom, brother, sister, or a friend who uses banned drugs. I would like to ask you all a question to begin with. Do you think that the world is safer, and are you confident for the future of your children? First and foremost, a bitter truth is that after 30 years, I can firmly say that a drug-free world is not possible. So let's be realistic. I can also assure you drugs aren't bad in itself, or else not myself and so many others would use it and feel happy. But how we tried in the past to stop people from using it with limited understanding has made it look like a monster. Let us also accept that we learned only one thing about drugs, and that is drugs are bad and we should say no and run away. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rajiv Kafle. I was born in 1973 in Kathmandu, Nepal. When I came into this world, my country did not have a drug problem. Instead, the so-called drugs were freely available everywhere. In those days, no other drugs like heroin or cocaine existed. Coincidentally, the same year that I was born, a politically motivated so-called war on drugs also started globally. Recently, Madam Helen Clark said that this happens to be the only war that she's aware of where the enemy is some kind of a substance. All other wars she knows of were between people or countries. I'm lucky to be alive as a veteran of this drug war till date since it started 45 years ago. I continue to use drugs, often the ones that you all would use, those that are approved by the government and also some that are not approved. The purpose for me to continue using and speaking openly against these injustices is solely to defend my right to do what I want with my body and enjoy my life. Sharing my experiences, I hope will allow future generations to make the right choice, since I never had a chance to do so. I had to do what others wanted me to do. I want future generations to live in a world where policies are rooted in scientific evidence and services are offered with compassion and care. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a much better drug policy in Nepal, across Asia and other parts of the world before the new laws and rules were set, starting this never-ending war against people. The reason that I share my personal life is to make you understand that drugs as such are not necessarily the ones that is causing the biggest harm, because this road that we are following was paved 50 years back ago speaks to itself why we are failing. Yet such is our human nature that it is very difficult for us to accept defeat. I have 25 kids who are orphaned by AIDS that I am taking care of. I got HIV over 20 years ago, not because I didn't knew the risks, but because my government believed handing out clean syringes would promote the use of drugs. So here is how the new drug policy should look like for a safer future. Decriminalization of all drugs for personal possession should be the first step of reform for every country. Decriminalizing cultivation and production for personal use should be the second step, so that the users don't need to engage with the criminal underworld. Governments should repeal drug laws and ensure they are replaced with sensible evidence-based model of legal regulation rooted firmly in human rights as a third step. And as a fourth step, end all law enforcement for adult drug possession, cultivation, production for personal use. The human rights over our body must be instantly restored. Make all drugs available to adults under a legally regulated market with strict regulation over businesses rather than consumers is the fifth and the final step. Alongside this new legal freedom must be easy access to sensible and truthful, balanced information about the risks posed by all drugs.